Welcome back everyone, Energy Fabricator here. I've just returned from the scrapyard where I've taken apart a 10 kVA 3-phase inverter. What we're looking at here is the actual inverter board, which is an Emerson AP4300 inverter board. Each stage here, each phase had its own IGBT, which we'll look at in a minute, and each phase has two 1500 microfarad 450 volt DC caps wired in series for a total of 900 volts, or at least that's what I'm assuming. I haven't looked at the tracks yet, but there's an 800 volt sticker on top of this cap, so I'm assuming each stage has two in series. The IGBT pinouts were connected here, and the pins for the gate driver came in through here. And this board here is actually the gate drive motherboard. I know that because it says AP4300 gate drive motherboard on the board itself. So I'll move this one out the way and we'll take a look at this gate drive motherboard in a bit more detail. As you can see, there's two gate drive chips per IGBT, another two here and another two there, and the pinouts for the signals, the signal input for these chips comes in through this plug here. And if we turn it around, and all of these gate drive daughter boards just plug in so that we can remove them if we want to. On the back side we can see the power comes in through here over to this PWM chip, a 2 transistor oscillator into this transformer, and the output is split up 6 ways, one power supply for each gate drive chip. So that's pretty cool, isolated power supplies for each IGBT. So I had to have that, so I took that home as well. Now the next thing I got when I was down there in that same UPS was a whole bunch of capacitors here. We can see I've got some, what are these ones? 1 microfarad 730 volt AC capacitors. So I've got 3 of those. I've got 2 of these 10 microfarad 525 volt AC caps, 2 of them, and I've got 3 of these 20 microfarad 370 volt AC caps. So that's all the capacitors that I got. And I also pulled out this little guy here, which is just a 630 volt cap, but I pulled it out because it was pretty easy. And the last 2 were these 2 1500 volt capacitors, 440 picofarad, and they've got a female and a male threaded terminal, so I've just screwed them together for a total of 3000 volts. So that's all in the way of capacitors there. We'll push these aside for a second and I'll show you the next thing I got, which is these diodes here. Now they're not full wave bridge rectifiers, they're just a dual diode package, so there's one diode across here and another diode across there. So I've got a total of 8 diodes here. Now they're high powered, high frequency diodes, so pretty impressive little units there. And I also got this little IXYS 3-phase rectifier, which was pretty cool, another high powered unit. Now the IGBTs that were connected to the inverter board were these guys here. They're a Toshiba MG50Q2 YS40 IGBT, 50 amps at 1200 volts I believe it is. So there's 3 of those there, and I also managed to pick up this chunky guy here, same sort of unit, but it's a 200 amp version. So there's 4 IGBTs that I pulled out of that same UPS. The next thing I got was a whole bunch of SCRs. I've got 3 of these, which are IXYS units again. I haven't checked the specs on these guys and I haven't tested them, but I have tested all of the diodes, the rectifier and the IGBTs, and they all work fine. I'm assuming these all work fine as well, but I will be checking them at a later stage. This one again is a different one, so I've got 3 of one sort, another one here, same brand again, and then I've got a couple of Semicron Semi-Pack 1 SCRs. So yeah, 6 SCRs there, and the next thing that I pulled out was a whole bunch of these ferrites. You can never have too many ferrites for different jobs, so these were pretty big, so I thought I might keep them and bring them home with me. I also picked up 6 of these 20 amp circuit breakers. You can never have too many circuit breakers. I also got a whole bunch of DC terminals of all sorts because they always come in handy. And the last thing was just a handful of fuses that I picked up. They're all good quality Busman fuses. These ones are rated to 500 or 690 volts, 100 amps. I also got 2 of these fans here, 240 volts AC. You can see they just keep spinning. Good quality die-cast aluminium frame. Good bearings in there. That'll just keep going. And they're a Sunon, or Sunon. 140 milliamps at 240 volts. So yeah, 2 of those. They just need to be cleaned up a little bit and they'll be fine. I also got myself this little diode RC network board, which had these diodes attached to it. They were just mounted on the back of the board here, like so, and screwed on the face there. So yeah, I took that home with me as well. The next thing I found when I was there was this old school insulator. I'll bring it in a bit closer. You can see here some markings, made in China in 1976. And this thing was covered in dirt. I didn't even know what it was until I picked it up. And it was about to get crushed by a scrap metal bin. But I cleaned it up, took it home, cleaned it up, and it's cleaned up pretty nicely. There's a couple of little scuff marks on it, but apart from that, it's in fairly good condition. So yeah, I had to keep that. And what else did I pick up when I was there? I did pick up 3 fairly large metal rollers here, as you can see, and if there was 2 of them only, I wouldn't have taken them home with me, but there was 3, so I took the 3 because I want to build myself a little sheet metal roller. And the reason I want to do that is because I get a lot of aluminium decals and signage and all sorts of things, old school sort of stuff like this fire extinguisher sign, which is in reasonably good condition. It's got a bit of character in it, and the only thing that's wrong with it is, as you can see, it's a bit bent out of shape, a bit dinted up here, so a couple of taps with a hammer and then we can roll that, put that through a roller in one direction, flip it over, roll it back the other way until it's flat, and that should take most of these little creases and dents out of it, and it's as good as new, with character, free of charge. So, and I'm sure I'll use that metal roller more often than just rolling out some signage. Now the last thing I picked up from the 3-phase UPS was this SCR gate drive snubber board. As you can see, we've already got the pinouts for the gate drivers here, here and here, and the mounting holes for the SCRs, and we've also got a bit of snubber action with these MOVs and caps and resistors across the output here. So I've just got to figure out how to wire up these input signals here, which shouldn't be too hard, and we should be able to drive the SCRs. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Everything we need to go already in one package. and will be protecting the SCRs from transient voltages to some extent. Now moving on to some packages that have arrived recently. I've got these 5 capacitors that I ordered from eBay, and they are 25 kV 5 picofarad capacitors, ITT Jennings. I believe they're pulse rated. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that these are pulse rated capacitors. So I've got 5 of those. Now the next thing that arrived from eBay was this little 2,500 hours mercury counter. If I bring it in a bit closer so that you can see what it looks like. It's just a little counter module here. Input power across these 2 little terminals here, and then we just bolt the unit down with these 2 screws. But as you can see, just over on this side here, there's a little bubble or a little break in the mercury column, and that little bubble will move across at a consistent rate when we apply voltage across these 2 terminals here. So we can count hours up to 2,500 hours. I'm not going to be doing a demo. Ben Krasno's already done it. There's no need to do it again. I'll use it one day, but until then, it's just a cool little piece of kit to have handy and ready to go. It's not something you'll find down at Radio Shack. So there you go. I've got one of those. And the next thing I got recently was a couple of these Bosch ignition coils. As you know, I've got a lot of neon sign transformers and bug zapper transformers. I don't have too many ignition coil transformers, but when I saw these going for $5 a pop, they were brand new in the box. I really couldn't say no. Straight low voltage input there, high voltage output, simple as that, on a nice iron core. So I've got 2 of those. So there you go. We'll put them over there for the moment. Get rid of some boxes. And we'll bring in these 2 ferrites here, which just came in the package with the next lot of capacitors that I'm about to show you. It was just a little free gift that came with those capacitors, so that was nice of the guy. But the main reason they came is because of the order that I placed for these guys here. Now in this box, which you can see here, I got 4 of these high voltage pulse rated capacitors. If I can find the markings here, zoom in on that, and there you go. 50 kV, plus or minus 30%, but they're pulse rated capacitors. I got 4 of them. I'm probably going to get a few more as well, but they are chunky, they're massive. I'll get a little steel rule on that, and that's just over 5 inches. If I can bring it in a bit closer, there you go. 5 inches in diameter, just over an inch thick. High powered stuff. Can't wait to hook these up. So yeah, 4 of these, so it should be pretty fun to see what sort of output we get with these connected to an X-ray transformer, ballasted of course at high power. But anyway, these are my new favourite capacitors. I haven't got anything bigger than that. That is just chunky, just fits in my hand. Anyway, that's that. And the next parcel that I'm about to show you is one that I sort of dropped the ball on a little bit. We had some momentum going. Tom Lipton from Ox Tools was making a plug for my X-ray, the first X-ray transformer that I purchased, and he'd sent that to me. It arrived a few weeks ago actually, but I dropped the ball. I got busy with other stuff. We lost the momentum totally. But here it is. This is the package that he sent to me. We'll open it up here. You can see in this bag I've got the brass plug that he made. So there we go, that's the threaded plug, 26 threads per inch, massive oversized head on it, and 1/8 BSPT hole in the centre to receive a vacuum fitting or a valve of some sort. So that's all I needed really. It was a bit of hard work getting down to the final specs, but we finally sorted all of that out, and there it is. So I'll put that down for a second. We've got the O-ring for it as well, so that'll go on the inside. If you've been watching, you'll know exactly where that goes. If not, we'll have a look at it in more detail when we do an install. And here is another one. He's made not one but two, and there it is. This one's got the O-ring already fitted to it. That is an awesome piece of workmanship, Tom. Totally custom, totally cool. Couldn't fault that in any way. Unless it doesn't fit, of course. Anyway, we'll soon find out. But that would be my fault because I okayed the specs on this thing and all the thread dimensions, so if it doesn't fit, I can't blame anyone but myself. Tom can only make it to the specs that I give him. The next thing I've got here, this is pretty cool. I know why he sent me this, because he saw one of my videos where I was making something on the drill and I had this awkward looking Zippo fluid container, I think it was, and I was dripping Kero all over the aluminium that I was drilling or something. So he sent me this little Spillmaster tub with a little brush, so that's awesome. I'll definitely be using that, Tom. Thank you very much. That's something that I didn't have. The next thing that we've got is this little bag here. Let's pull it. Oh, this is cool. Oh, didn't see that. I didn't see that when I opened the bag last time. But it's a little Ox Tools little keyring chain thing. There you go. Definitely have to hang that somewhere where we can see it. That's pretty cool. Thanks. So yeah, large, that should fit me pretty well, and it does. There we go. That's the positive side, and that's the negative side, I'm guessing. So if I electrocute myself, I'll try and do it the right way for you, Tom. Thank you very much. And he's also sent me a bag of spare brushes here to go with my little Spillmaster. So yeah, can't go wrong. Thank you very much, Tom. That's all I've got for you today, so until the next video, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and leave comments.